Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we go further into another area, introducing you the difference between faith counselor and fortune teller. In the last section, we say fortune teller, they emphasize on the techniques of life exploration, and they tell you the fortune and misfortune matters. And they, if it is more sophisticated and advanced, they will provide you also some solution for the remedies. That's all. If you go further into examining the rationale behind this technique, I'm afraid the practitioner cannot give you a satisfactory answer. But it is not strange. It is common. Just like in science. In science, if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, and if you are a information technology designer, whatever, then you will emphasize on the technique of the application. You don't have too much in-depth knowledge of some basic fundamental scientific subjects like physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology, but you still can be qualified as a doctor, an engineer. Why? Because you don't have to go in-depth of the analysis. By the same token, in our faith industry, I call it industry because there are many practitioners, and I hope the standard can be unified sooner or later, and the people will be more educated sooner or later. Okay. However, if you talk about faith counseling, I'm saying that we are on the pure science, just like on the pure science, on the theoretical part of the fortune telling. Yes, I can tell you, I can make a forecast for you, but why I can make that forecast for you is the job and the value and the functions of the faith counselor. The faith counselor does not only perform fortune telling, but it also gives you some rationale and also some solutions to be examined in depth and provide you a more thorough picture of your faith. So in China, in fact, the philosophy of life has matured over 2,000 years ago. So faith counseling have a very strong theoretical basis to support. For example, the most fundamental theoretical support is Yi Jing. It's Yi Jing, right? Yi Jing is regarded as the #1 classics in all the other classics, as well as it is the origin of all fortune telling techniques. They are 3 techniques, right? Just like last time, you talked about the image, the reasoning, and also the figures. All this derive from the idea in the philosophy of Yi Jing. However, Yi Jing is only one of the classics that introduce you life philosophy and some of the other areas in the universe. If you go further, you will see further elaboration of Yi Jing and further development of our technique like yin yang, the 5 elements of nature, all these sort of things. Because Yi Jing was roughly in a time finished in Zhou dynasty. However, after Zhou dynasty, in Qin dynasty, and in Han dynasty, the life philosophy has matured, has come in more closer and closer to maturity, and there is a complete theory in our life concepts. So the faith counseling has a very strong theoretical backup from other publications, especially those finished in Han dynasty. So Han dynasty is a milestone of Chinese culture, and why we are called Han people? Because from that time onward, our culture, our philosophy, and all the other techniques derived from this philosophy has been quite completely established. So this time I introduce you to publication finished in Han dynasty. This one is淮南子. It's published by Professor Hong Lai Wei and Hao Dick Wei. They're all from university and their specialty in Chinese classics. this 淮南子, they tell you something about, just like yin yang, 5 elements, how they operate in the universe, how they impact people, how they impact nature, climate, etc. and etc. So this is one of the book. Another other books also important or special significant to you, and they tell you is that 春秋繁露 is translated by 朱文嘉教授, 王知常教授 professor. These two translated. This one is written in Han Dynasty, in the early period of Han Dynasty, Han Wudi. And this is they call this one. It is the most fundamental theory of Chinese thinking, meaning reunification of sky, ground, and people. Remember, I talk about Yi Jing, the sky, ground, and people. This one further elaborate how they integrate together, and they have established a formally slogan named 天人合一, the unification of sky and people. So very detailed, very argumentative, and very affluent in this content. We will find time to explain to you further. So this time is for introduction to you only, and I hope you like it. Thank you very much. See you next time.